her house and said, well, I got a crappy life, today she would still be having that same crappy life. Is crappy a bad word? Can I use that on the air?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but she didn't. She says, no, today is the day I make a change in my life. And make a change she did. Now, we're getting close to a break, so I don't want to get in too much before our next segment because, I have time. I got 10 minutes. So she went out. She got herself a job. Hello, people. Put that down on your list of things to do. Number one, get a job. She did. And she worked like a railroad crew as hard as she could. Not just doing her job, but learning other skills and other things that would help promote her. And before she knew it, before she could even put in her Christmas list to Santa Claus, she was in management. I mean, this girl is incredible. She was in management, and she was working hard, and she was getting respect. She was getting plaudits from her employer. And by the way, I'm not going to name the employer. It's a national franchise, but they haven't paid for airtime, so I'm not going to mention their name.
No advertisement for you guys.
No,
Sorry.
yeah, we don't care about them anymore. But then she decided to do something else. Nobody in her family had ever gone to college. I have done everything I can to talk her out of that. But anyway, this little girl, besides working, 8-10 hours a day, jumped into college. Isn't that right?
Oh, yes.
Now you just barely got C's, right?
Yes.
I love to tease her. No. Kid had such a high grade point average that she qualified for financial help, reserved for those who were qualified for it, right?
Yeah.
Did that help you at all?
Oh, definitely, because of the fact that I didn't have, of course, the money to pay for it. So I applied for many scholarships. Of course, you still get the grant from the federal government, which is the FAFSA. So I was able to completely pay for my education. Yeah.
Okay, you guys want to hear this? She is beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
And no, I just love her. But can I mention that she has a 2-year-old baby girl, that she's a single mother?
Name Winter. And the kid is marvelous. She's sharp as a tack. But Winter was a good name because sometimes she's like an Arctic blast. You can't help but know that she's there.
She is absolutely an incredible child. And we certainly love her. She's not real big on me.
Oh, she loves you, Dad.
I need to say something here about one of our sponsors for tonight's show. Some time ago, Ed Bozarth Chevrolet became a contributing sponsor. And I got to tell you, Ed Bozarth Chevrolet believes in the same things that we're talking about as far as revitalizing our society, getting people in education, getting people on their feet,
up and doing something again.
Yeah, they're incredible. Now, Ed Bozarth Chevrolet, I've been out there. Clean, beautiful facilities, and they treat everybody that comes into their showroom like their family. They're not pushy. They don't jump on you as soon as you come in like they used to in the old days of Zorro. Somebody jumps off a rock and knocks you off your horse. They're really great. Now they're out there on 5501 Drexel Road, and I'm telling you, folks, you got to go out and see Ed Bozarth Chevrolet. They are absolutely incredible people, and what I love about them is he's successful. That's a successful company, but they care enough. For example, they're totally dedicated to helping our veterans get opportunities, do the same thing that Serre has been talking about. So I want to tell you, that's I just appreciate people like that who jump up and want to help the community. And I owe an awful lot to Ed Bozarth, Chevrolet. Please forgive me. I mean, the guy could probably sue me because I keep mispronouncing the name, and I'm sorry. But I'm not the brightest bulb on the tree, but I do know an incredible business when I see one. And I snuck out there a couple of times. And Ed Bozarth, the people, his staff, friendly, courteous, professional. Go out there to 5501 Drexel Road. And I'll tell you what, once you go out there, you're going to be part of his family. That's why I want you to be sure to do that. The reason I pulled that in is because we love people who, like Serre and like Ed, one day had a dream. Has having a dream helped you, Serre?
Oh, yes.
How did it do that?
Well, when you have a dream, then you build upon that dream. First, you have to have the guts to dream up something better than what you have. And some people are afraid to do that because if they dream, then they're afraid they'll fail. And if they fail, then they'll be let down and disappointed and they'll be depressed. So the first step is to dream. And when you dream, that's when all the pieces start to fall together, because then your mind starts to go to work on how it can help you achieve that dream. If you can dream, you can achieve. I think I quoted that right. Probably
no,
not.
You blew it. No,
Did I blow that?
Oh, you did. It was,
They get the point. They get the point, right?
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I've known a lot of car dealers. I mean, I was a good friend with Wayne Peck and Shaw Buick up in Salt Lake years and years and years ago, and Larry Miller and a bunch of others. And you know what I love about these guys like Ed Bozarth is even though they're successful, they care about helping those who want to have a boost up in the community. Not a gimme, but these guys care. And that's what makes any community vibrant. And, well, you just got to go out to Ed Bozarth. I'm just telling you, if you go out there, you may not walk back, with a car. You may not get a car that day, but you're going to be impressed to the point that when you do want a car, that's where you're going to go. Mm-hmm. Because you're going to love people like that. Well, anyway, I got to tell you, going back to my little Serre, here's a girl, just in her teens, got a little baby. What am I going to do? Because, she couldn't work at the job that she was working at 8 to 10 hours a day and still be a mother. Now, that's why I was born male. It's because I could never be a mother. That would drive me crazy. And for me, it's not a long drive. It's a short putt.
Because you're almost there, right?
That's right. But I got to tell you, this little girl. So what did she do? I'm going to tell you what she did. Well, no. I'll let her tell you what she did. What she did to help herself not falling into the trap of government entitlements. Mm-hmm. But why don't you tell people what you did?
Well, so I knew that I wanted to have a better life, not only for me, but also for my daughter. And I knew that where I was at, I wanted to move forward. And of course, where I was at and the company I was with was an amazing company, and I could have still moved forward, but it wasn't the direction that I wanted to take my life. So, of course, I had to have a dream, and I had a dream. But the thing is, when you have a child, especially if you're a single mother, you have to put your child first, and you have to think of your child first. And
hey, stop right there. Write that down. You mothers, you little girls.
I don't think they like being called little girls, Dad.
You young ladies.
There we go.
Is that cool?
That's better. That's better.
Well, if the young ladies need this, just imagine how bad the little girls are. So, okay. If you even, some people use having a child as an excuse not to move forward. You did not.
No, that's my motivation.
That's right. And it was incredible to watch. But go ahead. What is it that you did so that you could do things?
Exactly. So I needed to do things. And I know that if going to school is a job in itself. All my students, we all know that. And being a mother, all of my mothers, old and young, with the babies out of the nest and one still caring for them, know that being a mother is a full-time job. And also me having a full-time job. So I had 3 jobs at one time. And let me tell you, I'm not Superwoman, so I was starting to stumble a little bit. So I needed to make a decision. And I knew, like I said before, that my daughter is the most important thing. And the second was my education.
Yeah, and you know what, folks? We're going to take a little break for the news. That's going to be depressing. Come back after the news and listen to us because we got a great second half coming. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Craig Levitt. Glad to be back with you. I have so much fun doing this. I was messing up, like I say, on Ed Bozarth's name and a few things, and my little daughter here said, Dad, that's not very professional. You sound like some kind of a rookie off the street. And I said, well, I am a rookie off the street.
Yeah, we just pulled him off.
Yeah, just
off from
picked me
behind
up
the building.
outside and brought me in out of the rain. I'm just one of y'all. I mean, there's nothing about me that's pretentious or... I mean, I'm just one of you, and I have my own concerns, and I have my own thoughts, and I hope that you'll join me with yours. But I've talked about Ed Bozarth, and back in the 50s when I was a little kid, and don't anybody laugh, there used to be a show on TV on Sunday night, about this time actually, called the Dinah Shore Show. She was a great singer, and she would sing, "See the USA in your Chevrolet." You know, those are great. And it used to be the theme for America was apple pie, baseball, and Chevrolet. I threw hot dogs in there because who cares about a ball game if you can't,
Have hot dogs.
have hot dogs. That's right. Anyway, thanks, Ed Bozarth Chevrolet, for being patient with me. You and everyone out there will soon learn I am not the brightest bulb on the tree. I twinkle a little bit every bit now, but I'm not the brightest bulb. One other sponsor I have for this evening, a great organization. They are American Billionaires, Bullionaires, American Billionaires. They are the pathway to wealth in America. I think, and maybe in a week or so, we're going to have some of the people from American Billionaires come up on the show and talk to you about how I don't care who you are, where you are, rich, poor, famous, if you have hair or if you look like me, there is a way that you can have your share of the great American dream. So anyway, that's what we're looking for. Before we left for the news, Serre was still telling us a little bit about what she did as a single mother, teenager, trying to make her mark in the world. So let's get back to that, Serre. Let's get back to what you did so that, well, actually, you could feed Winter. And by the way, I got to tell you, that kid hasn't missed many meals.
No.
She has more energy than a nuclear facility. I mean, that kid, when she'll take a nap, she looks like an angel. You want to hang her on the Christmas tree. Well, either that or put her on the Christmas tree, one of the two. And she just is really angelic, and all of a sudden she wakes up,
and
Christmas is over.
Yes, it's Halloween then.
she is a love. She has more energy. Anyway, so in order to help this child begin to develop and reach her potential, Serre had to do some very ingenious types of things.
Oh, yes.
And so I tell them about what you did.
Okay, like I was saying previously, I had to choose between the 3 jobs. I can do 2, but not 3. So I decided to quit my job and to stay at home. Now, everyone knows that I didn't want to be on government assistance, and I didn't want to do any kind of the housing or food stamps or any of that stuff. So I was like, how can I still be independent and stay at home with my child and focus on my schooling? Well, my daughter is very sensitive to a lot of the products out on the market, and I have eczema. So then I made products for my daughter and I, and those products actually turned out to be very marketable and sellable. So I used my talents and the products that I used for my daughter and I started to sell them, and it helped me to generate an income for me to be able to provide the things that were necessary for my child. Now, that isn't the only thing, of course. I did other side jobs like doing hair on the side, but one important thing is the fact that I saved up money. And I saved this money a while before I even decided to quit my job, because I knew what my dream was, and I knew what I wanted to succeed to not succeed, but I knew what I wanted to accomplish. And so I needed to plan ahead of time. So I saved up money. And of course, once I was able to finally quit my job, I was able to pay my bills up for a significant amount of time. And the money that I received from my lotions and doing hair and all the different things that I utilized, like my talents, to